Hello everyone, my name is Laura. This is my channel, Laura's Little Library, and welcome to today's vlog where I am reading spooky books. There are so many adult and YA romances with spooky themes about witches, vampires, werewolves, just so many of these that sound really good and a really fun spooky season read. I wouldn't want to read them at any other time in the year, but they're not dark spooky, you know what I mean? So I figured I would ease myself into the spook with a first week or two of reading these cozy spooky romances, and then I would get really into the dark thrillers, academia, stuff like that. So that's what this vlog is an ease into spooky season. So I have quite a few books on the TBR for this vlog. I'm probably not going to read all of them, but I'm certainly going to try. But there are just, like I said, so many. So let's go over some of the ones that I hope to be reading. The first will be Magic, Lies, and Deadly Pies, and this is by Misha Pop. This is baking and murder put together. So it seems very cozy. It's cozy mystery, except that we know who the murderer is and how they're doing it and everything, so that's why. It's not actually romance, but I'm excited to read this one nonetheless. I've got Looking for Love in All the Haunted Places, and this is by Claire Can, and this is about a paranormal woman. Either she actually has paranormal abilities, or she just acts like she does for this TV show, and she goes to this haunted manor and she has to convince some guy that it's haunted and things like that. So it's a haunted house paranormal romance. I have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and this is by Sangu Mandana, and this is one that took BookTube and Book Talk by storm a couple years ago when it came out, and so I decided now that the hype has died down a little bit, I'm gonna get on the train and give this one a try. And the last one that I have in person is Casket Case, and this is by Lauren Evans, and this is your small town romance of this girl goes back to her small town and starts working for her family's casket business, and she falls in love with this guy who literally works for death, and it's like an office job. He's the logistics coordinator for death. So how amazing is that? There are other books that if I get the audio version of them, I'm really excited to read those, and so that would include Haunted Ever After. I think this actually comes out later in October, which is why I don't obviously have it, but again, it's another kind of haunted house adult romance. We've got Hex Education and also Nightmare of a Trip. Both of these books were written by the author who did Suburban Hell, which I greatly enjoyed. So they're just very much everyday topics, but with a spooky twist on them. Not actually romance or necessarily romance, but just everyday spook. And then Pumpkin Spice and Poltergeist. It just sounds perfect because I am definitely a big pumpkin spice girly, and it's a poltergeist, so it's spooky. It's perfect. It's great. And then the final one that I have my eye on is Chaos at the Lazy Bones Bookshop. This one I keep going back and forth with. I would not prioritize it, but it's a cozy bookshop, and there's something happening. It just sounds like the main character has a lot on their plate to do, which is why I'm it's not really a plot, but also it sounds like me, so, but it sounds very atmospheric, so I'd want to give it a try. Those are all the books kind of on my TBR. Again, I'm not expecting to read all of them in this week or two that I'm going to be doing this. These are just ones that I am interested in and want to be prioritizing. So in terms of these ones, I honestly don't know which one I'll start with, because you've got baking, but this one sounds really fun and unique. This one I've heard so many good things about, and this one sounds like it'll be just such a quick read, so I honestly don't know which one I will start with. So maybe I'll try the first chapter of all of these and then see which one captures me. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. Oh, I will also say I do have a non-spooky book called Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice, and this is just a cozy autumnal. I might save this for November, when I'm kind of in my spooky season hangover, but it's still autumn, it's still autumnal. I always feel like when Halloween is done, I have such a hard time like staying in the autumnal mood, even though November is 1000% autumn still. So I might save this for that, but also if I need a break or something magical happens and I do actually read all of these, then I also have this. Hello spooky friends, it is the 1st of October. I am so excited. So I have started reading Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. This is the book I am using to fulfill the prompt of ghosts or ghouls. I am a little over halfway already. I've had a lot of time today to listen to it, and I think it will fulfill the prompt. It's close enough. The relics that are in this book that kind of have like ghost person, you know, they're relics, but they have personalities, like they're dead, so they're kind of ghoulish. So I am counting it as having ghosts or ghouls. I wanted to start off with this just in case it didn't have ghosts or ghouls, and then I would know if I need to read another book or not. I also have the audiobook from the library for this right now, so that is another reason. But I am enjoying it so far. I had like a span of maybe 5 minutes where I wasn't really paying very close attention at the beginning of the audiobook, and because of that, I don't feel like I actually know what the plot is and what's going on with the character. Like, she has the relic and she's got the ghoul inside of her, and I understand that that is illegal and that's not a good thing and she needs to hide it, and I also understand like her complicated past, of course, but I don't quite understand why she's going where she's going or even where she's going, because like she passed the test. She's supposed to go to the clergy or like somewhere in order to like do next steps for passing the test, but then they got attacked by like ghost soldiers, and that's when she gets the relic, and now she's just kind of like running away, and I'm like, what are you running towards something? Are you just running away? Like, I don't quite know what's going on, and I'm a little over halfway through the book, but I'm enjoying the dynamics between her and her relic. So I am enjoying this so far, but yeah. So I don't think I'll finish this today, but hopefully I will finish it very soon, which will get this spooky vlog off to a good start. But for right now, I am actually going to do my nails and keep listening to this audiobook because I have not done my nails in a very long time, and I have been looking forward to doing this but not setting any time aside for self-care like that. So I am going to listen to this book and I'm going to do my nails. I'm so excited, and I'm going to do a fall color. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up doing a darker green just because of my complexion. I don't really go too well with certain oranges, and I don't want to do like a bold red, you know? But I also am very limited in my options, so we are just going to see. Oh, I don't even have a green. I think I'm going to do like this burnt orange. You might not be able to see it because of the coloration. Yeah, it's kind of like a burnt orange, so I think I'm going to go with that because I have added a lot of autumnal colors in my wardrobe recently, so I think that'll match it very nice. But it's just going to be very simple because I don't do this super often, so yay! Hello. So I actually just finished reading Casket Case, and this is by Lauren Evans. So this is this is the cozy Halloween reading vlog. So like everything's a little bit spooky, but also like kind of romance contemporary-ish. So this one we are following our female main character who her parents die and then she takes over their casket business in a small town, Alabama, and she meets this really cute guy and they really click, and he is actually the logistics coordinator for Death. Yeah. So I finished reading this book. I read pretty much all of it yesterday and today because I had the audiobook, but it was about to expire. I did not love this. I gave it 2 stars because it was very insta-lovey, and like they just kind of fell for each other and everything was super easy at the beginning, but not in like a romantic way. It was like oh, you work, you like sports, I work, I like sports, I love you now. And it was very fast. Like they were saying I love you within the first couple of weeks, and there just wasn't much of a connection. I didn't feel any chemistry between the characters. I just didn't. They just felt so two-dimensional. There wasn't much to them. Really, the whole premise about the book was that they both work around death, but then his whole thing doesn't come into play until halfway through the book. And I did not like the characters. I didn't like either characters. I just feel like it fell really flat. It was super insta-lovey. And there were a lot of issues that these characters had that just flat out were not addressed. Like they made a huge deal about talking to each other, like that they were talking to each other to avoid the miscommunication trope. But then they just did not address like characters' anxieties and actual feelings. So, yeah, this just fell really flat. I was not a fan. Hi, Donatella. So, that was kind of a bummer. But now I can move on to the next book. Also, this is the bookmark that I'm using. I love it. It's perfect. Next book I'm going to read, because I don't have any more of the books on this TBR over audio, so the next one I'm going to read is Magic Lies and Deadly Pies by Misha Pop. So all I know about this one is it's a woman who, I think she accidentally kills someone the first time, but then she makes it a trend. She kills people with her pastries. And I'm in such... Hi. Oh. Yeah. I'm in such a baking mood right now while also being in a spooky mood, so this is perfect. So, I am probably going to order the last couple things I need for my costume, do some homework, because school starts again tomorrow, and then I will get started on this book. Biscuits. Do you want to read with me? Did you take over your brother's biscuit factory? Hi friends, it has been a while. Where has the time gone? Oh my word, it is already the week of Halloween. I have not filmed an update in a long time. I just haven't had as much time reading as I would have liked. And then initially I was going to do 2 separate vlogs, of one being a not so spooky vlog, but like spoopy, you know, like it's not creepy or scary or anything, but it's still Halloween themed. And then another one that was going to be more thriller, darker Halloween-esque reads. But I just have not been reading a lot lately because I've been super busy with other things, mostly like school and things like that, so I just haven't read as much as I would have liked to, and then because of that I haven't been filming, so that's why. But I should do a reading update. I'm going to combine the 2 into 1 now, obviously, and give you an update. So I have talked about this book. It was okay. I have read The Witch and the Vampire by Francisca Flores, and I liked it. It was I don't know if I never knew or if I forgot that it was kind of like a Rapunzel retelling, but with the vampire and then witches who, you know, hunt the vampires and stuff like that. So it was good. I liked the romance. I think the romance could have been a little stronger in my opinion, but that's more personal preference rather than like judgment on the book itself. But no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Like, you know, Rapunzel, but with vampire and witch. They go on a little journey together, kind of, you know? Like, it was a high stakes book, but it was just written with very low stakes, which is, I don't know, like, the urgency wasn't necessarily there, but I still enjoyed it. Like, I didn't think it was lacking per se, even though it was a high stakes plot. So, yeah, I liked this a lot. Very good for spooky season. Perfect. And then the first book I actually read and finished was Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. And so this was to fulfill a prompt. I mean, these are all going to fulfill prompts for the Spooky Scary Skeletons readathon. So this was to fulfill the ghost or ghoul prompt. And I mean, spirits kind of overtaking the bodies kind of seems a little ghoulish, ghosty. So we're gonna count it. But no, I really liked this. It got better as the book went on, I would say, but yeah, it was more than I expected it to be, which was very nice. So those are the books that I have read thus far, is these three. I'm currently reading Hex Education by Maureen something. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of slow for me at the moment because it's just this woman who played around with magic in college, and then there was a fire, and now she has to go back to college for some reason, and a cat just completely knocked over the camera. So the angle is slightly different. It's because of him. Her powers basically get super amped up, and so they need to figure out what's going on. It's because the coven was back together or what, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels a little slow for me right now, so I'm having a harder time getting into it. But hopefully I will finish it in the next day or so because I really want to read really want to read This Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham because I have it on audio as well. So those are kind of my two spooky audiobooks that I'm going with and that I would really want to read before Halloween. I had many ambitions that did not necessarily pan out. Oh my word. But you know what? I did also read Mother-Daughter Night by Nina Simone. I did read this. It is just your classic whodunit murder mystery. Grandma is this high-strung, very motivated, type A kind of person, and so when she gets diagnosed with cancer, she has to move in with her daughter and her granddaughter who live a more like calmer life kind of. The granddaughter works for like a kayak shop kind of thing and they do tours and stuff, and she discovers a dead body on one of these tours, and so then the police get involved, but then grandma's like, you don't accuse my granddaughter, she didn't do this, y'all can't solve this murder, so I'm going to. And it's, yeah, and the three of them solve a murder together. Complicated family relationships, which is neat, but yeah, this was like a 3-star, just kind of average. Like, it was a murder mystery. It was okay. Ending wasn't super shocking. Those are all the books that I've read, and there are so many more that I want to read, but I just do not have the time. But isn't that the problem that we all face as bookworms? So there you go. Now I've caught you up on my reading. I've got like another day or two of this video, I think, and then I will close it out and try and get it up. Let's go. Happy Halloween. Alright, let's do a reading update. It is Halloween. This vlog is probably going to go a little bit into the weekend because I am doing most of my Halloween celebrating on Saturday because that's when there's a party that we're going to. And today ended up being super busy with regular things, so it really didn't feel much like a holiday, but I certainly tried. But reading update, I finished Hex Education and I wasn't super thrilled with it. I gave it a 3 stars. It had the similar idea of suburban hell that I loved, of like a supernatural twist on everyday adult life, which is what I wanted out of this book, but the plot was not exciting, the characters I didn't connect with and I wasn't super intrigued by, so it just kind of seemed like a weak book. But yeah, it was alright. So I think I would like to give this author's other book a chance because I think it's one of the newer ones, so hopefully it's a little bit better. But moving on from Hex Education, I have now started Looking for Love in a Hole, The Haunted Places by Claire Kahn. And this is about some sort of medium, or what are those people who, they're like mediums or like a clairvoyant or something like that. And she is applying to be like the host of this new TV show or docuseries or something about a haunted house. And yeah, so at the very beginning she's interviewing for the position and I am really excited. I think it's going to be like an enemies to lovers haunted house. So this is perfect to read on Halloween, so let's go. Alright friends, it is time to bring this vlog to a close. This was kind of the merging of two vlogs just because I didn't quite get as much reading done as I had hoped, but I did get a fair amount of reading done. So let's just do a quick review of everything I read and yeah, kind of just what happened. I read Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. Solid, 3-star. It was pretty enjoyable. I mean, I like all of her fantasy standalones, so good read. I read Casket Case by Lauren Evans. This was like a 2.5-star, almost 3-star. It just felt very insta-lovey and I didn't really see the characters as working well together other than the fact that they had similar jobs that kind of deal with death. Otherwise, there wasn't anything else that really put them together, and so I felt like it was kind of lacking there. The Witch and the Vampire, and this was by Francesca Flores, and this was more of like a 3.5, maybe 4-star Rapunzel sapphic vampire witch retelling. It was well written. I mean, there was still a couple areas that were kind of lacking for me, but overall a very good like romantic sapphic spooky read. Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simone. Also just another 3-star solid whodunit, multi-generation, complicated family dynamics murder mystery. We gotta figure out who killed the guy. I have started Looking for Love in All the Haunted Places by Claire Kahn. I am like a third of the way through this and it's kind of feeling insta-lovey and it's, you know, I love where this is going with the house, but I don't like the romance. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna obviously keep reading this because I started it and I'm still kind of a little bit in a spooky book mood even though Halloween is done now. I'm probably just gonna keep going because it's still autumnal vibes and we still have another month of autumn, so that's what I'm going with. I think those are really all the books I read. I don't think there were really any audiobooks that I didn't have the physical copy of that I read. That's not true. I read Hex Education by Maureen Kilmer. That was also another 3-star. Like, it followed the same kind of vibes of her other book, Suburban Hell, that I really liked, but I wasn't interested by the plot. I wasn't interested by the characters. There just wasn't much going for it. So really it was kind of not disappointing, but kind of disappointing that all of these books were like 3-star. I didn't have any really good, solid, spooky read this year, which is kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. But at least none of them were like horrible either, so I guess there's that. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below some of your good spooky reads that you read this year. Hit the subscribe button because I post videos hopefully around every week. I have a lot more planned for the end of the year, but we'll see what my schedule allows for. So yeah, again, thank you all much. I have Bookish social media linked down below. You can follow me there. And until I see you all in the next video, I wish you happy reading.